Yes, welcome back, Looney listeners. You are listening to Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. This is episode 82, and we have something quite different for you this episode. As mentioned by Connor and myself last, we are looking at our Avatars of Vengeance, our very first review for video games, and I guess Moon Knight in video games. As always, with me is fellow High Priest Connor. Connor, how are you?
I'm doing bloody well this long weekend. How are you, Ray?
Oh man, fantastic. Long weekend, I can't complain. So an extra day to rest and relax. It's great. And with us we have a very special guest. We have the big RickBall Special Rick. Rick, how are you?
Thrown in from the other side.
I'm very good, my dudes.
Excellent.
Just been chilling.
Yeah.
Catching up on reading.
Yeah, we've got an extra day to do stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I guess let's kick off just with that. I mean, what have you been catching up on, Rick? Just the regular pulls or something?
Jason Aaron's Avengers run so far.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very good, very good. And what's your take on this? The appearances of Mooney that we've seen. Any speculation as to what that would entail?
Well, I think I mentioned it in the chat. But I'm totally calling it now. It's going to be something involving War of Realms.
Yeah, I can see that. How about you, Connor?
Yeah, I mean, we got like 75 tie-ins, but I think it's going to be... Is it War Scrolls, the big one with Daredevil and
yes.
filling in the pieces? Yeah, I feel he's going to be in that one, if Rick's right.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? But you reckon he's going to have like a title to himself, like Arachnite during Infinity Wars and stuff like that? We might get a mini out of it, maybe.
I don't know. I feel like we probably would have announced that by now because they have announced a lot of the tie-ins. Okay. So yeah,
we say that now, but I wouldn't be surprised if like around issue 3 and 4 of War of Realms, we'll get like an announcement.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, because they do roll out stuff as they kind of go. So I'm hoping so. And of course we have Khonshu taken to the streets, you know, putting your fake moustache on and your hat and riding around in a cab. You found out Marvel Comics Presents. Is that number 4? Yeah?
Yeah, so we got our April solicitations this year for all the companies, but dropping in in April is Marvel Comics Presents 4. So what that is, Marvel Comics Presents started this month, and it's been a series of anthology stories, like one-off, usually going through Marvel's history with all its characters. And issue 4, we're getting a Moon Knight tale within. Woo-hoo. So a nice one-shot. The only artists confirmed so far are Charles Soule and Daniel Kibblesmith, and I can confirm that Daniel Kibblesmith is not doing Moon Knight, and I think Soule's still probably working on the Wolverine tales within. So it seems Moon Knight, whoever's writing him, hasn't been confirmed, but he is in there.
Oh gosh, oh man! Like and as any loony knows, I guess. There's always that level of anticipation, I think more so for Moon Knight with what writer and artist he gets, because they always seem to be top quality. So I know loonies are very discerning when it comes to who will write him or who will draw him. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. RickBall, who do you reckon? Who do you want to see write this one-shot? It's only one shot.
See, if it was me, I'd say Warren Ellis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
But I'm just being greedy. Though.
Yeah. How about you, Khonshu? Oh, sorry.
I'd say Matthew... Oh, sorry.
No,
I'd say Matthew Rosenberg.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah. He's in the current, stable of current writers that are quite popular at the moment. Who else you got? Donny Cates, Chip Zdarsky. I don't think I can see him doing Moon Knight.
I could totally see him doing Moon Knight. Yeah.
Actually, he did that. He did a serious issue. God, what is it? It just escapes me. Because you know how he's known to do kind of light stuff. I think he wrote something recently. I can't remember it. But Connor, who do you reckon? Who do you want to see?
I would have loved to see Kibblesmith do it.
Yeah.
I love Daniel Kibblesmith.
Good writer.
Yeah, I don't know. Just anyone really. I'd love to see female creators maybe get in like Teenie Howard or Vida Ayala.
Oh, okay.
Smash Moon Knight. They were you know, they're part of leading Marvel Knights alongside Donny Cates and Matthew Rosenberg. So that's street level stuff. I feel like any of them, you know, those four could smash out of the park with Moon Knight. I'd love Chip Zdarsky. He's doing our Daredevil series coming up in February, and that looks bloody fantastic already. So
that will look a lot to choose from.
Important to note too that on the cover, it's the Mr. Knight costume with nunchucks.
Yeah, how cool is that? I'm hoping, again, you know, I know we lark on about it all the time, but I'm hoping he's more of the Warren Ellis and less of the Damnation Mr. Knight. But he looks pretty serious on there, like the cover by Art Adams, it looks like, doing the cover to that Marvel Comics Presents that you posted up, Connor, on the group. So yeah, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, Loonies, we are here for one sole purpose, and we have brought an expert in the field in RickBall.
No finer choice.
No finer choice, and no pressure at all on you, Rick.
Oh, no pressure at all.
But what we thought we'd do, I mean, this is our first one on video games, and look, Connor and I mean, Connor, you do play some games. I do play a couple of games as well, not as much as Rick. So what we thought the first thing we'd do is just basically do an overview of Moon Knight in video games, and he's been in a few. So I thought maybe we'd just go through that, talk on that. Maybe Rick, you can, as we've chatted just a bit before, maybe you can pitch the games to us and the Loonies who may be not familiar with the games, and maybe speak of, I don't know, Moon Knight's playability. What are the terms? What do the gamers use?
Oh, just the abilities.
Abilities, yeah. Okay. You're talking to an old fart here. So, anyway, right. So, shall we kick onto it? And then I think maybe after that we've got a massive load of listener feedback. Thank you so much, Loonies. It seems, Rick and Connor, the gamers have come out of the woodwork here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So sorry?
People would want to see Moon Knight beaten up in the streets, so what better place than games? You know, he hasn't got any leading roles, but he's had a few good bits here and there.
Yeah. I mean, and we'll hear as well, he's had quite a influential role on gamers, and he seems to be one of the cooler, avatars to, or if that's what you call them, to play. So, right, Connor, have you got? There's that list we have of video games.
I have it before me.
Excellent. Why don't we run through? Maybe you grab the kick us off.
Yeah, I guess the only one I actually know as well is I think it was listed here anyway. Is probably his first. It's Marvel Ultimate Alliance. He jumped into as a playable character.
Yeah.
And so Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I imagine a lot of listeners are pretty familiar with it. It's a team-based game. Is it like 3 or 4 characters you pick?
It's 4 characters.
4 characters, and you jump in a battle. And, the first one, I can't remember what the first one was, but the second one was Civil War-based.
Oh.
And, you just get all together, you're beating up troops, like a great kind of arcadey beat-em-up style, 3D realm. And Moon Knight doesn't have a big story role, but he's a pickable character, and he's got his nice flowing cape and a big staff, and you can beat the shit out of people. It's pretty good.
Awesome. And RickBall, I'm going to throw it to you with Ultimate Alliance. Yes. Is it similar? Is that similar to Future Fight? I mean, as Connor said, there are 3 players. Is it along the same lines of that the gameplay?
Yes and no.
Uh-huh.
Yes, because of the 3 to 4 players you could choose. No, because it's a bigger, more expansive game, and it explores different parts of the Marvel universe.
Right. So you can, we'll get to it later with Future Fight. So in Future Fight, you're very much led through a particular path, right? So in Ultimate Alliance, can you roam around? Is it kind of like that expansive, or?
Best way to describe it, there'll be some levels where you'll be like, oh, wow, I gotta go to Atlantis where Namor is. He's doing naughty shit as always.
That's awesome.
And there'll be some levels where you gotta go to Canada, the Weapon X facility.
Yeah. And how do you... So take us through, as you just mentioned, the 3 characters that you choose. Do you have a whole team? Like, again, I'm only leaning to Future Fight because I've played Future Fight. Do you have a whole team that you can chop and change who your 3 on the mission will be, or how does that work?
Okay, let me blow your mind. See, the thing about Ultimate Alliance is you can choose up to 4 characters out of a 22 playable character roster.
Okay.
Yes, so basically you get different characters from the Marvel Universe from different areas of it. And the best thing about it, depending on certain characters, you mix them together, you can make like a team and you get like bonus XP, damage and stuff like that, for example. You get Iron Man, Cap, Thor, and maybe Hawkeye, you'll get like the Avengers boost.
Ah, nice. Okay.
If you get like Hulk, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, or Spider-Man, you get the new Fantastic Four boost.
Right.
Etc., etc.
Right. Yeah, that sounds very similar to Future Fight for me. I mean, I know Ultimate Alliance is first. Just finally, one of the first kind of questions. So with your team in the field, I'm assuming then you can chop and change control of whoever you want, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, cool, excellent. Connor, any questions or queries on Ultimate Alliance? It's a big one. I mean, a lot of loonies love playing it. I
loved Ultimate Alliance growing up. 1 and 2, I had them on the PS2.
Yep.
And have the big console versions. But I played so many hours of that with my brother. I'm really keen for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and I'm hoping I got RickBall with us now, but hoping to get him back and do a full replay through of 1 and 2, and then eventually hitting up 3 late in the year as our Avatar Avengers stuff across the year. I think.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Yeah. And
I'd be game for that. No pun
intended.
Hell yeah. That's great as well. And who were the? I'm looking here actually. The villains. There's a huge roster of characters, right? Of superheroes.
Oh yeah.
Villain wise, you seem to have a whole heap. I see Fin Fang Foom. That would have been cool. Do you?
It was cool.
Are there kind of are there side missions that you can play? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, there's different ones. Depending on during the missions and stuff, you'll find like discs, simulator discs, where if you go into like one of the computer rooms, you can actually play like a solo mission with said character, and it involves one of their storylines. Okay. And each one is like differently unique. For example, when you do the Daredevil one, you play it blind, but every time sound happens,
awesome. Yeah,
you'll see like the visuals show up. And
like a radar, like the radar sense.
Yeah, like the radar sense.
Oh, man. That's so cool. Far out. That sounds so cool. They should reissue this game. I don't know. Maybe... Well, Ultimate Alliance 3, I guess, that's kind of like a reboot, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Well, so that was... and let me see. When did that kick off, Ultimate Alliance? That was 2000 and... Oh, no, that was Ultimate Alliance 2. 2006, October 2006, Ultimate Alliance 1 came out. I guess we should go then to Ultimate Alliance 2, which was released September 15, 2009, and later remastered in July 2016, so not that long ago. So, Connor, you did not play this one, I believe, right? No? Or did you?
Ultimate Alliance 2, did you say?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I played that.
Oh, you played that one. Okay, sure. Yeah, and Rick as well. So, I don't know, guys, take us through Ultimate Alliance 2. How does it differ from the first one? Different playability, I don't know, different characters?
Oh, yeah, different characters. This one focuses more on the not Secret Wars. Actually, technically, the Bender Secret Wars, first half. Second act is all Civil War.
Really well done, Civil War 2.
Civil War, that would have been awesome. Far out. So,
and the best thing about it,
you
could combine attacks. So let's say you have Captain America and Iron Man.
Yeah.
If you shoot your repulsor race, you can aim it at Cap's shield and you can deflect and hit other characters.
Right, and you see a direct influence from the original Avengers movie. Iron Man, does that towards the end. They must have lifted that off the game, I'm sure. So this one came out, let me have... did I say 2006? Only a couple of years before the MCU kicked off. So, and how is Moon Knight here? Is it...
He's not in that game, I don't think.
Oh, he's not at all.
He's unfortunately not there. Unfortunately not.
We should not talk about this game anyway. It's
such
a stupid game.
But the Thunderbolts are in it, though.
Oh, Thunderbolts are in it? Yeah.
Spider-Woman's in it, if I remember.
Ooh!
Yeah, she's in it.
Yeah.
Jessica Drew, awesome. I see Sentry isn't only on the Nintendo DS though. You got Sentry and She-Hulk.
I played it on the Nintendo DS as well. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. So it seems like certain consoles have certain Only certain characters. That's pretty slack, though, isn't it? I mean, like, we know Ultimate Alliance 3 is only on Switch, isn't it?
Yes.
That's pretty... How do you feel? Do you guys... Are you both have got Switches, or...?
Yeah, I'm on the Switch. Best console.
What if you're like a PS4 person, or you're an Xbox?
You can get stuffed, Ray. Get out of here. No one wants your bloody PS4 here.
Get that filthy crap out of here.
Hang on, guys. We're edging for some sponsorship here. No. Wow, okay. Because that's a very interesting move. Okay, maybe explain to me. I don't know, in the realm of games, Switch, PS4, Xbox, is Switch like the granddaddy of them all at the moment, or is it
Nintendo's current console?
Yeah. Are they top dog at the moment? I thought PS4 or PS were.
Switch's got a very strong year, but I think, and Rick will definitely back me up with this. I think, we've both seen this happen before with stuff like Bayonetta. It's a matter of which company is willing to fund the project. So, you've got Sony and Microsoft. And what happened is that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 got re-released, a couple of years ago, and it was deemed a financial failure. So Sony and Microsoft decided to pull support, saying, they didn't want to make this, it's not going to make the money, but Nintendo decided, they were the ones who were going to fund it. Decided we're willing to take the chance to put this out there to get results, good or bad. So because, funding is purely from Nintendo and not from Sony and Microsoft, they keep it version exclusive as incentive as well. So
that's so interesting. Like 2016, Ultimate Alliance 2 was remastered. So the MCU was in full swing. It surprises me that it kind of crashed and burned the game.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it got pulled apart from the fundings and stuff. Yeah. Due to the fact that there were X-Men related characters in the games.
Okay.
And it was in that naughty period when Marvel was really being a bit dickish to X-Men.
Right. Oh, that's a shame. But I guess. And how is playing on Switch? Like, is it? Again, I'm a total layman. The control pads, is it similar to PlayStation and Xbox? How is it? Like, you got like 20 different buttons?
No, it's the same, except you can switch from basically a portable handheld version that then you can plug into a dock that plays it into your TV as well, like a regular console. So it's got that.
So you can just plug in the little handheld, and you pretty much have your console like on the big screen. That's pretty cool, man. All right, I'm learning as I go. That's so cool. So Ultimate Alliance 2, unfortunately, no Moon Knight. So I think that's understandable why that crashed and burned. Let's face it had no Moon Knight. Now let me go back here.
Actually, before we continue, I'd like to do a little honourable mention. Of course. I was talking to Connor about this one.
Yep.
I think he knows what I'm going to bring up. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has an indirect reference to Moon Knight in two ways.
Yeah.
First one is technically the ending of Hawkeye. When you beat the game of Hawkeye, you find out he's reforming the West Coast Avengers, and right dab in the middle of it is Moon Knight.
Oh, nice one.
And the second one is alternate costume you can have for Dante from Devil May Cry, and it's It's Moon Knight. It's basically Moon Knight.
No, I mean not literally, right? But he really looks like him, or
he basically looks like him, especially in Dante's second form, where it looks like he has a hood.
Oh man, that's cool. Rick, you're gonna have to pass on these images, and we're gonna have to add them and post them up or something. That'd be really cool.
Sure.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to see. I'd imagine it's more kind of like street level Moon Knight, right? Well, with a hood.
Oh,
yeah. Cool. Yeah, nice one. Look, the second one on our list is Marvel, and I can speak a little to this as well. I'm sure you guys can as well. Marvel Avengers Alliance. So have you guys played this?
The one on Facebook?
Yes.
Never even heard of it.
No, you haven't heard of it, Connor. Oh, yeah, it's
so bad.
It was the one on Facebook. It lasted for a while. I was so kind of a little peeved because, they said, "Oh, we're gonna have to wrap up. We're not gonna do it anymore." And it takes so long to accumulate, your team and your power levels and stuff. So that was a shame because all that hard work, I guess, just goes. RickBall, did you play this?
I played this ages ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have vague memories of it.
Yeah, it's so release date March 1st, 2012. It's on Adobe Flash. That was a platform. And basically, yeah, it was a tablet or a phone game. You had, again, it was more 2D, obviously. You had 3 team members, really cool stuff. And you were up against, obviously 3 or more villains. And you took turns, and you had to choose a particular skill or something against them, and depending on the order of skills that you do, you can defeat the foes. If you choose unwisely, you could get easily overwhelmed. But it had a really cool Moon Knight in there. RickBall, I don't know if you remember, he had his what do you call them? They're components of Khonshu. So you had your Defender, your Pathfinder, your oh god, I can't remember the other 2, but they combined.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, but they each spoke to. It was a reference to Warren Ellis's run in Moon Knight, when the psychiatrist talks to Mark Spector about Khonshu being these 4 components, and I can't remember all 4 of them. But I just remember Defender and Pathfinder, and there were a couple of others. But each of them were quite relevant to the title. So Defender gave you more defense, so you took less damage. It was really good, I thought. I thought Moon Knight was pretty good in it. It's a shame that it went. But having said that, there's another game which I can't remember. It should be in one of these lists here, which tried to replicate that, and it's currently available on all tablets and phones. I take it, Connor, that you're not you're more of a console, not a phone game player.
Yeah, no, I don't really touch the phone except to calculate Yu-Gi-Oh life points, play Monument Valley. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean that's true. The downside, I guess a lot of people get turned away from tablet games because there's that in-app purchase, I guess. I mean, you inevitably have to spend stuff if you want to. I mean, I'm a cheapskate. I never upgrade, but you don't. You miss out on a lot of stuff, or it takes you a long time to get something. Whereas, if you fork out $8, or they have something, they have up to like $50-$60 you could like fork out, and then you get these super duper packets that give you billions of coins or whatever, increases your XP. So, that was Avengers Alliance. Rick, any other thoughts on Avengers? Did you like it? How far did you get?
I thought it was fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I actually don't remember how far I got into it. I know for a fact I had Moon Knight, Daredevil, and someone else, but that's about it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fair enough. Look, I guess tablet games might be the poor man's version of video games compared to if you're really into your console games. But I mean, I can't really say much more of it than I really enjoyed it while it was there, and Moon Knight was quite not overpowerful, but he was powerful enough. A vast difference, I think, to the next game. So Khonshu, have you got that next?
We got Lego.
Yeah,
Marvel, Lego Superheroes, whatever its proper weird title is.
Yeah. So Rick, have you played this?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh, you haven't? Oh,
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay, Connor, I'm sure you have.
No.
You haven't played?
No, I haven't.
Really? Oh, okay. I have. Really?
Come on, Rick, take it away. Take the floor.
It's got Legos.
No, I mean, I've played it. It's and actually one of the feedback we'll get from our good loony Josh Geronimo Johnson. Moon Knight, unfortunately, here is I found a little boring. You acquire him through a side mission in a bank. I think you fight the Sinister Six, which is pretty cool, and you find Moon Knight there and you unlock him. He's okay. He apart from the other character, there are some other characters really cool, like Thor. I find really cool. Human Torch. So there's a whole plethora of characters there. Moon Knight is pretty one-dimensional. He pretty much can jump and punch, and throw crescent darts, and that's about it. There's no more to it. There's actually a control there that allows you to do a special power. I've tried that with him. He actually has none, which is a real shame. Yeah, I know. Really neglected. So, you can have a special power with another, like, say, Wolverine, and it triggers his animal senses, and you can actually smell or see things that other people can't. Same with Spider-Man's got the spider sense. Moon Knight has nothing, so he's basically just running, jumping, and either throwing darts or bashing people with a staff. So a little bit disappointing, but Josh did mention he does appear again in Lego Marvel Avengers, as opposed to this is Lego Marvel Superheroes. So I think that was a sequel, and you actually see the Mooncopter in the
really odd looking Mooncopter.
A really odd one, yeah, more gorilla, I think, because it's like brown and it looks like it's camouflage or something, but it's still that really bad design from the 70s. Did you manage?
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing, right? And of course you associate it with Moon Knight, so. It's going to have to be what
I heard also we got Marvel Superheroes 2 as well, didn't we? Which dropped last year.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Sadly, from players as well, such as Dustin and I think even Chad both brought this up, that sadly Moon Knight is completely unchanged and has the same, one dimension and lack of, real focus on story in that game as well, sadly. So
yeah, it's a real shame. I mean, like, there's so much he can do, right? I think. Sorry, Rick, were you about to say something?
Oh, no. I was just adjusting myself.
Excellent. There you go, loonies. You heard Rick adjusting himself. I picked that up. I don't want to ask any further. But cool. So I guess similar, I mean, if we encapsulate that, Moon Knight in Lego video games. The Lego game itself is, I find, quite enjoyable. There's so much to explore in it. You have a huge map. There's one main mission, of course, but there are countless side missions where you can unlock other characters like Moon Knight, or you can... what else? What do you do the missions for? I think it's mainly for... mainly for basically unlocking characters. I've been trying to unlock Doctor Strange in it, and then I just gave up. It was a bit too hard. So I've got to check out the cheat notes for that. But Lego it is. So anyway, you mentioned already, Rick, about Marvel versus Capcom.
Yes.
Is that you said Ultimate Marvel? Is that different from? Actually, no.
It's going to be it's complicated. Let's just say that.
Okay. Because this could be the one I'm looking at, and one that you're probably looking at, Connor, is the one maybe that you've mentioned already, Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ultimate. It's
basically an expansion pack.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
it's like a beloved fighting game turn. You shove some sort of name in front of a previous game and you sell it again with slightly more content for all the DLC. Turbo, Ultra, Ultimate.
Oh, no. This is
Deluxe.
This is how they make the money, right? This is how they make their money. All right, well, let's kind of skip that one then. But Moon Knight does. As Rick mentioned, he does appear in Marvel versus Capcom there.
Yes.
Very fleetingly, though. The next one here, Rick, Superhero Squad. I'm not sure if have you played that one or
that was an it was MMO, Marvel Superhero Squad Online, that he was a character in. I don't think you could play him, but you could team up with him.
Yes.
I don't really know. I've just seen stills of it online.
There's a lot of MMOs out there where you could play as Moon Knight or team up with him.
Yes. Sorry, what is an MMO again? What, something online?
Massively multiplayer online game, basically. So, you DC Universe Online, if you've heard of that or something, and create your character. You go and you play with all these other people on online servers.
Oh, right.
Well, your own custom superhero.
All right.
Or if you're really good, you make Moon Knight in DC Universe and just run around with it.
Yes.
Assert dominance.
Just, the Joker's walking around and suddenly a crescent dart in their head. Excellent. I can see that. But would there be thousands of people playing then? Are you in this one world with everyone from over online?
It's different servers per country.
Okay, right. Sorry, Loonies. Apologies if these are really silly questions that you're listening to here, but I, really have no clue. That's why we brought in the experts. Yeah.
To be fair, I did not know about the Lego games, so it's all good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's what makes us a team.
That's it.
We've got all our strengths and weaknesses together.
That's it. We are the better. What is it? The sum of the parts is better than the individuals.
I don't know. Three Musketeers.
That's it. All right. Well, Superhero Squad. That was
shout out.
A shout out for that. I thought, mate, because I actually did play on Xbox 360. A Superhero Squad. I've actually got it. It was pretty fun. It was very cartoony, and I think it was aimed more towards a younger crowd, but the playability was still enjoyable. I didn't come across Moon Knight at all, so that's what I thought this was. But so I never came across him in that game. Any loonies who have played that game, let us know. Connor, the next one we have here, I'm sure Rick would know this. Yep.
Yeah, I've already spoken to Rick. This one's all on him. Spider-Man Web of Shadows. A pretty great action brawler. I haven't played it. I ended up playing the sequels. Was it Shadow Dimensions preceded this one, taking its engine and applying a different... I played that and a Metroidvania version of this one on the DS, but I don't know this one exactly with Moon Knight. So RickBall, I'm throwing you.
Let me tell you guys. So basically, Web of Shadows is just like a typical Spider-Man versus Venom story, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a difference. Basically, a fight happens between Spider-Man and Venom. A bit of the symbiote breaks off, goes onto Spidey. But now you have like this choice. You could choose between use the normal suit or choose the symbiote suit.
That's cool. Yeah.
And each suit you change to has consequences.
As in what, health or?
No, health is in like story.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, for example, if you are being more like classic Spidey with the red and blue, you'll get the team up with Luke Cage, Wolverine, and Moon Knight.
Mm-hmm. No, cool.
But if you go lean towards more of the black suit, you'll team up with Vulture, Rhino, Electro.
Right, and so... Yeah, so this was released October 29, 2008. So in context, it's around the time that the MCU kicked off as well. Do you have the Iron Spider suit? I mean, in comics, the Iron Spider suit was already around from memory.
No. There's no Iron Spider suit.
Okay.
It was just basically a bare bones story-driven Spider-Man game. This was before the PS4 Spider-Man game where it just gave you a plethora of costumes.
Yeah. And so, would you rate this game? Like, it sounds like you do. Is it?
Oh, it's great.
Really good, yeah.
It's like, I consider it one of the most underrated of all the Spider-Man games.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And looking at all this, I'm looking at the breakdown of it on Wiki. You got a whole heap of characters here, which is great. It looks like you got the Sinister Six, obviously. You got Venom, Kingpin, you got the Tinkerer. But with the backup players, the supporting players, I see Wolvie's in there, Black Widow. So take us through, how did you... So how does Moon Knight fare in this?
So basically, Moon Knight comes in and he'll help you out if you ever call on him. Right. And he's got his crescent darts. He's got the nunchucks.
Right.
He suplexes people, which, you know what, I'm fine with.
He suplexes people. That's awesome. Why not? Someone must have been a wrestling fan when they developed this game. Yeah, so you can't play him. He just comes in.
You can't play him.
Okay, but he
comes in to help you out.
Okay, and how's his does he speak? How's his voice?
Oh, he speaks. He sounds like Mark Spector when you think of him.
Okay, great.
I think it's the same voice actor from the Avengers series. I think.
Interesting.
Really? From the TV show?
I think so. I'm reaching really hard right now. But I think so.
Okay, because he had a pretty cool voice. I know some people saying apparently he had a bit of a Chicago accent, which kind of made it a little bit more distinct, I found, from, all the other Avengers. So that'll be pretty cool.
He looks really cool as well. He's got like a, this really heavy looking kind of David Finch looking after, as well as kind of a bundled sort of like
mummified look.
Yeah, as well as
he's got a bit of that
Egyptian cloak as well. That kind of like also represents work on the desert.
Yeah. Also, fun fact: at the end of the game, I think if you beat it with symbiote Spider-Man and you unlock the bad ending, you'll go through like concept art, and one of the concept art is a venomized Moon Knight.
Oh yes, I've seen that. That's cool. Yeah, nice one. Sorry, I see here, Rick, because I don't want to double up. I see here there's another Web of Shadows. So there were two versions, were there? There seems to be one for the PS2, or are these just the same, just a revamp?
Same, but PS2 would have been like sort of a downgrade made for a inferior console. Okay. So things would have been taken out and rearranged to make it work better for the system.
Okay.
Instead of Moon Knight in the PS2 version, you got Nightcrawler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Well, Nightcrawler is pretty cool, but you know,
he's no Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was about to say he's not exactly Moon Knight, but yeah, I'm looking at an image of it here. Yeah, his costume looks awesome. His cape is rightly so, as you mentioned, like David Finch, is a lot more cape there than usual. So it does actually come across as I don't know. Yeah, as you mentioned, someone in the desert, like you know, a Sahara sort of thing. Weapons for Moon Knight there, just your standard. Apart from the suplex, does he do anything else? Any special? Has he got truncheons or nunchuckers, or how's that work?
He's got the nunchucks and the crescent darts.
Okay.
Oh, also, I think I try because I haven't played this in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think in one point you see him in the proper Mooncopter from the Mark Spector run.
Yeah. Oh, really? The moon jet thing, like when it's
moon jet thing.
Yeah, where it's flat. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean that's good. You don't see Frenchie or anyone like that, do you? No.
Oh no.
No. Okay.
Fortunately,
it's
I wish.
Too peripheral, that character. Yeah. So the next game there, Connor.
Next game, probably one we've got a bit of feedback from. It's definitely the one he's been in, kind of most talked about the past years. Marvel Future Fight, which I also have no history with.
Oh, really? And
I sort of have history with it.
Okay. Yep. I just wanted to have a big shout out here to Midkine, our one of our favourite loonies there in our community. He's a huge fan of Future Fight, I believe, but I believe just recently he may have stopped, only because I think he was saying that he's really up there, like level wise, but I think he just stopped. May have been consuming his life. I don't know, but this is a really good game. For me, yeah, I mean, it seems to encapsulate, and from the sounds of Ultimate Alliance and what we've been saying, it seems to touch upon all those common points. Moon Knight is relatively easy to get, so it's just great because you get him nearly almost from the beginning, and then you can start upgrading him. You can increase his mastery level. You can change skins, so there are actually a couple of versions of his costume. The most common one is what you see there, Connor, on that kind of profile thing that we have. More of the Declan Shalvey Moon Knight look,
cool.
Which is absolutely, his playability is absolutely awesome. He's actually quite powerful for a street level. If you do ramp him up, soup him up with upgrades and mastery, he's quite brilliant. He's got 5 skill sets, and they range from throwing crescent darts to him shooting a grappling hook, and he goes off screen, and then he kind of like comes down and smashes everything. Yeah, it's kind of suplexes, smashes everything. I don't know how he does that, like unless he's got some sort of superpower. And there's another one. I think he calls Frenchie or something, and you get the enemies get rained down with just crescent darts. Really fun stuff. Really good stuff to do. I don't know. I'm on level 30 for him. So you obviously just keep on going higher and higher. But yeah, it's something. Future Fight's really fun, and I haven't been tempted to buy anything. So that's good, because the worst thing is with these tablet games is that they keep on asking, "Oh, do you want to buy a pack and all that?" So yeah, very cool. I think he and up there with Ghost Rider as probably the best or my favourites in Future Fight at the moment. But going through this quickly, so this was released not that long ago. So it was on iOS, and it is on iOS and Android. Developers Netmarble Games. April 30th, 2015 is when it was released. And again, there's just a whole universe of characters there that you can play. Like I said, it's relatively easy to acquire characters.
Got a good community.
Yeah.
From what I hear.
Yeah, good community as well. Yeah. Sorry.
Also, notably too, just recently with Infinity Warps coming through, Arachnite is available in Future Fight.
Oh wow, that's awesome. And further to that as well, I'm seeing a little preview here. Apparently, up and coming is the X-Men will be arriving there. So Marvel really releasing
that time.
Yeah, really easing off the off the tap there with Fox now losing their rights to it, and so I can see there's Gambit and Nightcrawler, and it's looking awesome actually, and the Sentinels. So so Future Fight guys, I recommend just kind of give it a go. It's probably worth. Again, there's like limitless like side projects and everything. So it's pretty decent. So next one we have. I don't know how much of that here, Rick. Edge of Time. Do you know that game?
No, I don't. I haven't even heard of this one.
Oh, Edge of Time. I thought that was it's a Spider-Man game. Yeah, Edge of Time.
Edge of Time is it's the
Is that the
sequel
one with
to
$20.99?
Yeah,
yes.
So it's a sequel to Shattered Dimensions. In Shattered Dimension, you had Noir, 2099, Spider-Man, and Black Suit Spider-Man. Yeah, something like that. And in Edge of Time's the sequel where they just drop it to Spider-Man and Miguel O'Hara, which I didn't play much of because it was kind of just an inferior version of Shattered Dimensions.
Oh, let's speak about Shadow Dimensions then, Connor. Was that? I mean, I know probably Shadow Dimensions doesn't have Moon Knight in it, but
there's not. No, it's really good.
It good?
Yeah, like it's it took the engine like kind of spun out of the success of Web of Shadows into a full 3D brawler, and it just
right.
Yeah, it really knocked the scene away. You know, Arkham Asylum and City, I think, around the same time, and they obviously occupied the biggest space and the best of superhero gaming. But this was a really solid,
It was a fun game. It was a really fun game.
Just super solid beat 'em up, super fun. Playing all those different versions. That was like one of the first times we'd ever been able to play those characters.
Yeah.
In such a fully fleshed out fashion. So it was really fun. I mean, it's nothing to something like, say, this PS4 Spider-Man game now. But
right. Fun. Okay, it seems to have fallen in that trap of being released, just so happened to be released when the huge games that you're mentioning, Arkham Asylum and all that came out. So you get that sometimes when quite decent things. I'm not talking about games. I was thinking more of music and album releases. But that kind of
basically everything, really.
Yeah, but the same principle applies of when something is so huge, it just is groundbreaking. It's not to say that you still have these pretty good, games or albums come out. So it seems like it's fallen under that trap, unfortunately. Just a little. I know Moon Knight isn't in it. Maybe he is. I don't know. PS4 Spider-Man. How's? He's not in.
I don't think there was even a mention of him.
There was unfortunately no mention.
No mention.
I think I spent hours just running around New York looking for anything.
Yes, Rick doing the hard yards, having a look for Moon Knight. Not even a nod anywhere. Not like a statue of Khonshu somewhere. No.
Unfortunately, no. But we did
spectacle building. No.
Unfortunately, no. But I did find a statue of Lockjaw.
Oh, cool.
That was the best. Yeah.
Yeah, nice one. Cool. So, apparently, Edge of Time. Just going back a bit, had Moon Knight in it. So I'm not sure how big a role he played in it. He may have been a call upon character, like that other game. What was that other game?
Web of Shadows.
Web of Shadows. Or he might have just been a, do you get some characters that just come in and just make an appearance, like fully automated, and then just go away and that's it? You get that a lot in games, or
sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining. Moon Knight probably will be in here. I'm not sure you can play him, nor if he had any role in the actual mission itself. But sometimes they like doing that, don't they? Just for the fact of here's so and so. Okay, well, there he is. See you later. I mean, Moon Knight isn't exactly a A-list character, so he could be relegated to a smaller role. Anyway, next one there, Connor.
We have got Marvel Heroes, which I think possibly is what was that the one that spun out of your Ultimate?
Yes.
Was it? Yes. Okay.
Right.
Whatever it's called.
And that's
Avengers Alliance. Sorry.
Right. And that was available on PC.
PC, then later on the big consoles, but then along with what's it called, the Ultimate Alliance remasters, they got taken off due to X-Men characters.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Dumb. So dumb.
And so this was released June 4th, 2013. So, yeah, again, like, would be riding the wave of the MCU success, I'd guess. Rick, any playing here? Moon Knight in particular?
Oh, yeah, I played a whole bunch of this game.
Yeah?
Oh, cool.
Okay, yeah. And how take us through? How was it? Was it?
It was great.
Yeah?
Best way to describe it's like a dungeon crawler. So basically you go in, I'll give you an example. For example, I'll choose as Moon Knight. I have my friends online. They'll play as like Spider-Man, Nova, the Punisher.
Uh-huh.
We'll jump into like invade Hydra's secret base. We'll defeat anybody. We'll defeat the boss. Then we'll take all the loot.
Okay.
And then we'll upgrade our characters. Then we'll go to the next layout, next area. And there's like a story between it all about Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And Hydra teaming up.
Okay. And so this is, as you mentioned, so you can actually play with your friends online.
Yes.
That's awesome. So so you're all playing the same mission. You can see each other, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Is that really dumb question, guys? For say the Switch and say the PS4 and all that sort of game. Say for instance, if I was to pick Spider-Man on PS4, can you play multiplayer there, or can you like online?
That game is a single player game only, unfortunately.
Okay.
There are certain games that are multiplayer.
How about Web of Shadows? Could you do that?
Single player?
Single as well. Okay. All right. But are there comic book games that are multiplayer that are on console that are online
definitely
as well?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like the Marvel vs. Capcom games are always 2 players. Ultimate Alliance, if you can find it in like bargain bins or like any cash converters.
Yeah.
They're definitely like up to 4 players.
Right. Awesome. So that'd be that's so cool. Then I like that social aspect of it. Just as an aside, guys, as well, in the R&D department of ITK, we're looking at promoting some sort of gaming thing. Been talking to Dustin Coldcase. He loves his games as well, and so he's been proposing some stuff which is really exciting. So I like the social aspects of it. So that's why I ask, like Rick, about these sorts of games. It would be really cool, like if you log in online and you can play, say Ultimate Alliance and together. I think that's why a lot of people might like those games. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I'll be down for that.
Did you guys ever play online, like Ultimate Alliance, like with other people, or?
Back in the day,
I played it like couch co-op.
Oh, couch co-op. Okay, yeah. So sorry,
I did a bit of both.
Yeah. And how was it?
Sometimes,
yeah.
No, you continue.
I was just about to say, does it drag? Like if you had a dodgy internet connection, is it detrimental to the gameplay? Or
it definitely drags. Drags.
Okay, right.
But as long as you have a stable connection and you're not playing with somebody in Brazil, you'll be fine.
Okay, so someone in Iceland is okay, but just Brazil.
Oh yeah, definitely Iceland. But for some reason, those Brazilian players, man.
There's some sort of nexus there, something to do with that. Yeah. Okay, well, what else do we have? So that was a PC. Next big one. We've only got a couple more here. The other big one, I guess, for tablet again or phone is Contest of Champions. I know a few loonies are playing this. You guys played it?
Right up.
Yeah?
No,
I
but I know
played
it's
this
running right upside Future Fight.
Yeah. It seems to be. Sorry, Rick, what was that?
Oh yeah, I played this one.
You play it? Are you still playing, or you dropped off? Or?
I dropped off a while ago.
Yeah. Me too. I played like pretty much every day. I remember Eve looking at me going, she was actually starting to worry if I was getting addicted to it. Because, you can get addicted to games. Like, the first beginning, the blossoming months of when you're playing a game, you get really into it. So, but I have dropped off it. It's a typical, for those that don't know, it's a one-on-one, I don't know, what do you call them, smash up. Just a fighting game between one and another. Moon Knight, I found, did you get Moon Knight, Rick, or?
I did not get Moon Knight. Yeah. I was maining the Hulk at that point.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I can't remember who my favourite was, but Moon Knight was definitely hard to get. I think it was one of those things where unless you kind of bought something, which I was kind of against, you'd have really Buckley's and just random chance of getting Moon Knight. But I have there were opportunities to like play him, like in some games where they kind of give you a taster and you get to play as their character, so you don't own them. And he was pretty fun to play. I played against Moon Knight. He's got a bow staff. It looks pretty cool in it as well. I'm not sure if it's your kind of sort of thing. Connor, did you usually ever play like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I love those.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah. Well, this is kind of like a watered down version of it. Like you don't rip people's heads off and.
Is it kind of like then? Rick, you might be familiar. The Mortal Kombat and Injustice mobile phone games we got.
It's sort of like that, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Good graphics. They're still expanding it. Really, really fun. The Hulk is massively fun to do. Other shout outs, I guess. Doctor Strange was pretty good from memory. Black Panthers.
Carnage was good.
Oh, I never got Carnage. I got Venom. Venom was great. He's huge. Very scary. But yeah, it's a pretty decent game. Let me just see the credentials here. Or credits. I'll say the wrong thing. So this is quite recent. It's, again, available on iOS, Android, or Windows Mobile, December 10, 2014. So, yeah, not that old. And it usually syncs up with MCU events. So, say when the Ant-Man movie came out, there were Ant-Man missions and available Ant-Man characters. Same with Civil War, I believe. It's a pretty straightforward game. And finally, Connor, I think you've played this, right? I think
I haven't, but I've spoken to Rebecca a lot about this too. Little while, so I can take the lead sort of on this one. This is Marvel Avengers Academy, which is it's either PC or tablet, I believe, possibly both.
It's a tablet game.
Tablet game. Yep.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's a cool idea. I always love these kind of ideas where all the superheroes and villains are like teenagers, the college or high school, and it's got all this cool stuff like they added the Pet Avengers in recently and all these other cool characters, but it's Rebecca ended up stopped playing it because it takes a long time to get anywhere without paying ridiculous amounts of money, sadly.
That same old friggin' chestnut. Yeah.
But Moon Knight was added in, and you want to look him up for this. It's fucking fantastic. He is this wanky, yacht-driving little teenage twerp with his scarf and his turned-up collar.
Oh, man.
And it's just ridiculous.
Oh man, that sounds like fun. Yeah, and it reminded me. Actually, I didn't play too much of it. I think I downloaded it and played it like just once or twice. But it reminded me of Superhero Squad as well. Same sort of kind of playful graphics. But yeah, I like the idea as well. How they're all kind of younger, different spin on things. So sorry, Rick. RickBall, you didn't play this or?
No. Moon Knight didn't look too angsty for me.
You needed him wearing someone else's face on his face, huh? Yeah, I don't think you'll get that on. Don't think you'll get that on there. So according to Marvel Wiki, those are the appearances of Moon Knight in video games. Now, we might just take a quick short break. We have just a few bits of feedback to go through that I'd like to get you guys' thoughts on. Sit tight, loonies, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Chris.
And this is Brian.
And we are the hosts of Inner Demons, the Ghost Rider podcast.
And you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and other podcast apps for all your Ghost Rider needs.
Ride on.
Welcome back, everyone. We have just crash course with the RickBall Special, slinging from the arm down through all of Moon Knight's appearances, video games, from Ultimate Alliance to Avengers Academy. Some great thoughts, but, Rick helping us take the lead, but we're not alone. As always, Into the Night has been a great community.
Yeah.
And so we put the call out to you all on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and for once, we got massive responses from all three. It's probably our biggest turnout for listener feedback. We have got a bunch of great stuff to go through from all the platforms. So I think I might pass it on to you, Ray, to kick us off.
Okay, look, I was thinking, because they're all about the same length. Do you want to take one platform each?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's
do that.
Sounds good.
So, look, I'll take...
I called dibs on Instagram.
Okay. Okay, kind of so cool. You get the poll. We actually did a poll as well on Twitter. Okay, so for Facebook, basically our Facebook group, thank you so much, Loonies. Our first one, really good to get feedback from Raphael S. Santos.
Oh, the madman. Yeah, he dropped a great tidbit here.
Yeah, and his great theory about Moon Knight in Shadowlands and stuff from our previous episode. Anyway, so Raphael says, I play Contest of Champions and Future Fight. In both games, I'm an MK fan. Even knowing he isn't the stronger champion in both games, I don't hesitate to use him and give all I can to increase his playability. He is a grounded character in both games I play. While there are some champions that beat bosses easily, he takes a bit more time to do it since he isn't that strong. I know, which is slightly different to what I thought, but I think Raphael probably plays this game more than I do with Future Fight. I thought Moon Knight was quite powerful. Anyway, he says, and in Future Fight, he ranked 6 worldwide with his mark.
Ooh.
My gosh.
Not fucking bad.
My gosh, Raphael.
Show off.
Blood. Thank you for that. Man, I'd like to know, unfortunately we didn't get Midkind's comments, but I'd like to know where he lies in that. We have another comment from Josh Geronimo Johnson. He says, the only games I've played with Moon Knight have been the Lego Marvel games, Superheroes and Avengers. The character looks pretty solid, and you actually throw crescent darts as a projectile, and I think he does have the glider cape. Oh, that's true, he does. I'm pretty sure he does have the truncheon, but only when you do a double jump. You don't actually fight with it, which kind of sucks. He only has a small side quest in each one. For superheroes, you just beat up a bunch of thugs, but in Avengers, you beat up bad guys on New York streets and meet up with Mooney's street-level contact. Is it Crawley? Nope. Jenna or her sons? Nope. It's Mr. Tiggles, the Black Alley Cat, which I think is kind of funny. But at least that game gives you a version of the moon copter to fly around in. Yeah, so there's a bit more of that in there. I'd like to see Mr. Tiggles. I'd like to see Moon Knight with a pet, like in the comics. That would be cool.
Mr. Tiggles for Marvel Comics 2019.
Yeah, please.
Mr. Tiggles for president.
Any Marvel writers, come on, get in there. We've got a few short other comments here from Dave Witham. He says, don't forget he was a support character in Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Not playable, but cool to see. And, yep, absolutely, as RickBall mentioned, he's a call-in and he's a suplex sort of guy. Looking pretty cool in that. Justin Cowett says, I love playing Moon Knight in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and seeing him in Spider-Man Web of Shadows got me interested in his character when I was younger. Again, cool. we see a lot of that, don't we, with Moon Knight in the video games actually piquing a lot of interest in people. So thank you, Justin. Next we have Ayrton Lara. Moon Knight in Future Fight is kind of... Okay, you youngins... Overpowered, okay, thank you. I didn't know what it was. He's kind of OP, overpowered with the right build, but with more and more updates, he's really overshadowed by other characters. Him not getting another costume in a long time makes it even worse. I can see what you mean. I thought he did have a couple of skins on him, but maybe that's not enough. I mean, maybe the other characters have a whole heap more. I'd like to see a Mr. Knight skin on him, but... we'll have to leave that up to the Future Fight developers. And finally, we have Ilya Payne, Marvel Heroes Omega, before it was called Omega. I played solely for Moon Knight, Punisher, and Daredevil. That is the Trinity right there. They had awesome interaction dialogue. Marvel Heroes Omega. RickBall, are you familiar, or Connor?
It's basically an expansion of Marvel Heroes as it is.
Oh,
but
okay.
adds more content.
Right. Oh, okay. So that was what we covered there. That was that you mentioned was available on PC and what was it?
Consoles.
Consoles as well. Later came out for consoles. Right, excellent. So thank you so much, Loonies, from the Facebook community. That was fantastic. Connor, you have our Twitters.
The big Twitters. We're starting off with Anthony Sitko, which is at
Sitko.
Anthony.
Yep.
Sitko.
Yep.
Anthony Sitko. Sitko is Sytko. If you want to give him a little follow. He says, I played with MK in Marvel Ultimate Alliance all the time. He was my staple for my team for most of the game. Sad he wasn't in MU2. Hope they bring him back for 3. Definitely.
Yeah. Do we know if he's in 3?
No, not at all. We've
Not
got
at
a
all.
very...
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just announced, so we probably only know about maybe 8 to 10 characters
Oh,
confirmed for
okay.
that
So
game.
so nothing's... Yeah, okay. So there's sky's the limit still. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
100%. Alright, big, lovely Chad Jernigan, always popping around the group, and Looney Bins, well, been on here plenty of times. We love him. He's at Angled Time on Twitter. He says, Marvel and Future Fight is one of the most powerful of his type, but only if you have access to a special armored variant costume. It's strange that he has such a naturally high dodge rate, considering his strategy in comics. Take the damage and deliver a death stroke.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
He says, with the right URU stack... ISO 8 bonuses and relic markers either binding, stunning, or not even in frame to be attacked. Invincibility or health regain permitting. Putting this bruiser in the grave is harder than most.
Yeah.
Well, that's true to the comics enough.
Yeah, it is. But I like his point about, it's funny he does dodge a lot when he should be just like taking the hit, shouldn't he? But I guess that's, not fun in gaming.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could be. Given just high defense, just get pummeled. I don't know. I don't know how to play Future Fight, so I'm just slinging shit from the mouth. Weirdo at lone_super_hero on Twitter says, I love seeing him in video games. Kind of wish he was in more. Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah, don't we all? Although it amazes me that how much we've just gone through, like how many appearances he's made. But yeah, you're right. The more, the better.
Jeffrey Brown at Twitter at TSUJIGO, which is Sugio maybe. Yeah. He says, seeing Moon Knight and Lego Avengers really surprised me. Definitely a good follow-on point. yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I thought he would have been like 5, so, getting a decent role in these online games isn't half bad.
I know. I'm hoping that is going to cause some sort of groundswell, and then he just stays in, as a staple in, because he's in there. He's got his foot in the door. He just needs to do a lot more in a lot of the other games.
I feel like this is Dustin who calls himself the Cold One at Zombie Priest _.
It is.
That's Cold Case. Yeah.
So Cold Case drops him with, I was introduced in Moon Knight through Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I thought he was the coolest character and usually had him on my team. I really hope he's in the third one. The first one is so good. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is going to be Switch exclusive. Yeah, I have a Switch though, so I'm definitely going to be getting it.
I think everyone who has a Switch has got not a problem at all because how much did these games go for? Like Australian dollars?
78 to 90.
Okay. Geez, that's okay, isn't it? Because back in the day when I had the first Nintendo, each game was about $70-$80. That was a lot back in those days. I mean, it's a lot now, but I would have thought it would have been like $100 a game or something. I don't know.
And then our great poll chucked up by Ray on there. He asked, what's your favourite video game to play as Moon Knight? And with equal 33% is Ultimate Alliance and Future Fight. Yeah. Pretty strong. I do know Future Fight has a pretty good community, still very active on Reddit. And Moon Knight's, talked about enough there, so that's pretty strong. Coming at 23% is Marvel Lego, and then finishing off at 11% is Contest of Champions.
Yeah, I think these are, no surprises. I guess with Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I would have thought that would have beaten everyone.
Certainly.
Yeah. Any surprises there, Rick? Contest of Champions? Did you?
No, this is actually, I'd expect Ultimate Alliance to be number 1.
Yep. Well, Future Fight, is very strong as well. So.
Oh, yeah, Future Fight is strong as well. Yeah, I agree.
But it is. There's that small thing of having to buy stuff, kind of selling it. But anyway, it is a free game, so I guess you can't complain. So, so that was our Twitter feed, and finally the RickBall. We've got some Instagram stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like the longest ones as well. Jesus. Okay, first off, we'll start off with Ben PT 801. It says, I actually had a strong connection with Moon Knight in video games. Since I'm fairly new to comics, maybe 4 to 5 years now, the first I learned of Moon Knight when he was one of the first heroes I rolled in the Contest of Champions games. Mm-hmm. I didn't know who he was, and I thought he looked awesome, and I really liked his moveset in the game. A day or so later, I went to my local comic shop for the first time and snooped all their back issues to see if I could find any Moon Knight comics. I picked up issues 3, 4, and 5 from the Ellis runs, and the rest is history, baby. Also, a big pinball fan.
Oh, yes. I think we didn't cover this.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, shit. We'll talk about it quickly once we finish this one off.
Yeah.
I think the Moon Knight pinball game is really well made. It gives us a look at the villains and gives you the opportunity to even fight them, which to me was the coolest part. I definitely recommend anyone try the pinball game. It's pretty easy to pick up and not as time-consuming as Contest of Champions, which definitely takes a lot of commitment. I'm downloading this now.
So Ben, definitely, obviously, he's been bitten by the how long it takes bug of Contest of Champions. He makes a call out there. But yeah, pinball, my God, that would be so much fun. We put an image up on there. Yeah, man. Rick, if you can find it and let us know, I'd love to download it as well. But are you guys into pinball at all? Or?
Yeah, I love some pinball.
Yeah. I used to play it.
I got addicted at one point.
Yeah. I used to play the Star Trek Next Generation game, pinball game. Like I remember after high school, we used to go to, there was a little video arcade. A couple of my friends, and you just played pinball. That was our jam. So any pinball game is a good game, and Moon Knight's obviously better. Yeah.
Okay, next one's from JBoogie89, FYI, great name. I just found out that he was in the original Ultimate Alliance, and that's from way before I was actually reading and collecting, so I had no clue who he was. Pretty sure they cut him out the second one, but they did have him in the shortly lived Marvel Heroes Omega, rest in peace. Yeah. Only character I would pick up after I spend money on him until the game was taken down.
Woohoo! Well, we've got a good loony there. He's showing his allegiance. But yeah. Oh, thank you, thank you, Jay Boogie. Sorry. Yep.
Oh, no, it's all good. And the longest one from Make Mine Moon Knight. I think I follow him.
Good name.
Yeah.
I love they came out with an MK game. I'm currently running around GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 5, dressed as best as I can with what I got as Mr. Knight. Silver grey wrestling mask, white coat with tie and silver vest, white pants and shoes, along with a police nightstick with silver brass knuckles as tools for trade.
That's so cool. Yeah.
That's the perfect setup of a gang that hangs in the garage and has 3 small buildings to run around and climb up with around 25 coons waiting to get trounced.
Oh, man.
This is amazing.
Yeah, you just have at it.
I've seen people make their own custom MKs in some DC Universe Online games. Looks pretty cool. They need to put them in a Marvel vs. Capcom game. 100% agree. Yeah. No clue why they never even been in one yet. One from about 5 years ago came out with an updated version of that. Included the 90s Danny Ketch Ghost Rider.
Nice.
Cool.
If only they would do the same with the latest MVC game for MK. There's also Mugen, which I've only seen it on YouTube, but I think you can either make or can download already made characters that would have found in the classic Marvel Heroes / NPC games and alternate skins versions of characters. The one for the 90s Ghost Rider is awesome. When he first appears on screen, he writes up as Dan. He touches the gas can like it was a classic book and transforms in an awesome way into Ghost Rider.
Yep.
Mugen is awesome. Gotta get it. It keeps on going. I'd settle for the classic 90s side-scrolling beat-em-up MK game, have him glide around with his cape and all of his different iconic looks, and have things like the classic icon bonus point, things that float around that you can pick up with for different things. One could be the call-in for friendship or quick backup, either in person with melee firepower, or he flies in with the mooncopter and opens fires. Haha. Even a Marlene one, because I've been reading some issues where she's either jumping in on the fray or is training with MK.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Someone that is capable. Please make a classic side-scroller MK game. Classic looks and game music, all tailored for MK in every way. Different skins, different weapons, different supporting characters, enemies with basic scum to beat on. Make it cool and interesting, and with references to iconic comic panels and covers and pieces. Oh man, I'm inspired. I'll make my own poster. Don't keep on going here. Sorry. It's all good, my dude.
It's all good. So I take
That's
it,
some passion right there.
that is. I take it he's a Moon Knight fan then. So.
I was going to say Ghost Rider, but yeah.
Well, yeah, Ghost Rider fan as well. No, thank you so much, mate. Mine, Moon Knight. That's what we love to hear. A lot of passion for Moon Knight. And look, if only they would all listen to you, would get a lot of Moon Knight in video games. Sorry, guys. What have I totally missed it? What's Mugen? What is that?
Mugen is like a custom creator for fighting games.
Oh, okay. Right.
So basically, you could create a fighter, you play it online. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's very complicated on the system how it works. Mm-hmm. But I could probably link some videos in the give examples.
Okay, no, that'll be great. If you can, that'd be cool. We can add that to our episode summary. Awesome stuff. No, thank you so much. And again, thank you all the loonies for that feedback. I think that was the most feedback we've ever gotten in 1 week. It's proven to us that Avatars of Vengeance, this segment, we're going to have to do more, guys.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Great.
please.
Also, just for the record, I just downloaded the Marvel Pinball app on my phone.
Ooh.
Cost me $1.50, and I just bought the Moon Knight table for an extra $3. So
Ooh.
there you
Guess
go.
what? I did the exact same thing.
Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that now. As we, when we sign off for sure.
We're the Pinball Squad.
Yeah. Loonies, if you love pinball as well, drop us a line. Let us know what you think. Or just go grab his game and let's all play it. Thanks a lot. We've kind of, I guess, run out of time for this. RickBall, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Definitely got to have you more for not only video games, but, for comics or whatever you're keen on talking about. Moon Knight.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here, Rick. Expertise, just 100%. Ran eyes out of the park. Couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Absolutely. You know your stuff. So, big shout. You can be our spectacle shout out for this episode.
Yes.
Oh, actually, let's extend that. So, gaming wise, are there any? Do you listen to any gaming podcasts or something that you like to shout out, or any podcasts maybe that you like to shout out?
Connor, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I got a few. Love some love for the Planet Broadcasting. Hey Fam, it's a pretty great one.
Nice
as
one.
well as all the small games, indie focused one. I love Kind of Funny Games, Nintendo Voice Chat, the Podquisition. That's with Jim Sterling.
Oh,
he's good.
yeah, excellent. And how about any notables, Rick, for yourself?
Okay, well, I got 3 good ones. First one is Super Castle Beast, which is a really good podcast.
Nice.
Second one, Double Tap, a fighting game podcast. If you love fighting games
sweet.
or into
nice.
that specific area, follow them up. And a couple of NPCs, people I know. So I've got to give them a good old shout out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Rick, if you can, for sure, just, again, drop us a line with those. We're going to put all these on. We'd just love to share the podcast love. And as mentioned before as well, we're part of the collective, so a whole group of really nice people, really great podcast shows. So you can find us on Twitter at #TheCollectiveNet, and you'll come across all the other shows that are affiliated with that. We just, like to share the love with podcasting. And yeah, good to have a shout out for those other shows that you guys listen to.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Well, before we go, just for next phase, we'll be returning, I believe, with our High Priest of Khonshu, Rebecca. So, Connor,
Lovely.
You and I will be rejoining Rebecca for our Classic Run review. I believe that is a Waxing Crescent. And we'll be looking at number 3 of Doug Mench's Volume 1 of Moon Knight, which should be a good review.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And finally, of course, again, thank you once again, RickBall. Do you want to? Where can people find you if they want to drop a line, ask you a question about games?
Ooh. Give me 1 second. I'll answer that question for you.
Yeah.
Follow me on Instagram, Fist of Khonshu 89, and DM me, and I'll give you any answer you want.
Excellent.
Even the questions of life, I'll somehow answer it.
Rick knows. So, you've heard it. He knows his jam. So hit him up on any question.
Also, Twitter as well.
Yep.
I'll put all the links in.
Excellent. So Rick is also, you're actually quite active on Twitter as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Khonshu. Where can our valued loonies find us?
Find us? Well, our website is www.intothenightpodcast.wordpress.com. Newsletters, episodes, links to all the other great podcast collectives right there. Facebook, if you want to follow us, is facebook.com/ITKMoonKnight. Twitter is @ITKMoonKnight. We're on Instagram, Tumblr, and YouTube. You search for Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. We're big enough to come in your search results.
Woohoo!
And if you want to join maybe even the single best group on Facebook, don't at me. We've got facebook.com/group/ITK Moon Knight. It's always going off. Just a bunch of love for Moon Knight. We got a Looney Bin Facebook chat as well. If you just ask, we can chuck it in there too.
The Facebook chat goes off all the time.
Yeah, it does actually. It's nice and active. So yeah, get in there. And it's really on anything you want to talk about. Loosely connected to Moon Knight. But yeah, no, that's great. We're also available on all your podcast catches. So I'm just thinking if there's any. We will potentially. I'm looking at Twitch, guys. Look, we're talking about games. Looking at Twitch as a. Is that it? Twitch as a gaming, another social platform. So keep your eyes out for that. Look out for more exciting things from ITK. I guess from all three of us, as usual, it is time to sign off. And I'd just like to say, may Khonshu watch over the denizens of the night. Catch you later.
Peace.
Moon Knight and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Materials used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.